Greetings, humanity, and welcome once more to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is the finale of our campaign of KULT Divinity Lost, a horror game by Robin Liljenberg and Peter Nallo, in which the veil that covers reality is slowly being pulled aside to reveal the true terrors underneath. Or it gets pulled quickly aside if you happen to fail certain rolls. That said, as it turns out. But I am very excited and overjoyed to be bringing this to folks because this has been such a cool campaign. But I'll more of that at the end. But we're going to go ahead and go around and finally say hi to everyone and find out one last time who they are and who they're playing. And we will start with Katy. Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katy. I am playing Valerie Coleman, the Deceiver. We both use she, they pronouns. And I am very excited for whatever is going to happen.
Me too also. And now we will head over to Kortney. Hello.
Hello. I don't know what that hand gesture was. I don't know what I'm doing. That's how I've been this whole time. Pronouns they, them. I'm playing Laurel. Pronouns he, they. Minotaur, God and accidental daddy. I cannot wait for us to all have a little bit of trauma and despair as a treat. Yum yum.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm trying not to wave this pen around, but it's like the only thing I got. Like a little scepter.
I know. I need to have something over here, and I don't have very good candidates for things to wave around. Oh, for the days when I had a quizzing glass. But I digress. I am going to be playing Christopher Sands. His playbook is The Artist. He also apparently has discovered recently that he is an architect of some cosmic nature, and it's messing with his head so much. But before I hand things over to our storyteller, as a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain graphic violence and sexual themes that are non-graphic, and references to death, drug use, eldritch horror, gaslighting, illusory realities, mental illness, nightmares, physical and mental abuse, religion, self-harm, and suicide. I'm going to go ahead, if you want to see that, you can type exclamation, if you want to see the content warning, you should go ahead in the chat and type exclamation point KULT CW, and that will bring up that content warning. That's also going to be on rotation, so that it should pop up every few minutes or whatever. Every few minutes, every few messages, what have you. It'll show up regularly. And please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. And now we shall hand things over to our storyteller, Hollow. Hello.
Hello, I'm Hollow. Pronouns he, him. I am excited to be here, excited for this finale. And if we could just get a quick, player perspective rundown of what really was going on for you at least in the last game.
I didn't take the best notes last time, so I'm throwing it to others. Sorry.
I do just remember some man showed up to try to speed up my acquirement of Chris's hands. I did convince him to leave though, which was fun. He also put Max into a little crystal that we now have. Yeah, it is now our little crystal friend. We decided to go to the newspaper building. We met these people who were keeping the editor in the room. We got past them, which was just Val bullshitting her way through the whole thing, basically, she is wont to do. When we got to the editor, Chris saw through the facade, to the real part that was going on. And then we all sort of had this moment of, I guess, I don't know how to explain it. I do know I stabbed a guy, which was really the highlight of my whole session last time. I really enjoyed that. I guess we had our own experiences with the breaking of the veil.
I did confess live on social media that I'm a liar. Not I as in Kortney, but I as in Laurel. And told all the little Minotaur buddies, hey, I'm not really your god. And they were like, well, we like you anyways. And so that was emotional. We
That was
talked
really
about
heartwarming. Yeah.
And he may or may not have put a shrunken Max into his pocket at one point and then put her elsewhere for safekeeping. We don't like the Iceman. That's what I distinctly remember. No more Iceman.
This is true. This is true. I think that individual's name is Keeper, if I remember correctly. I was watching some of that
right.
today, again, and remembering, and we learned some very valuable things. I think one of which is that apparently social media breaks the laws of thermodynamics, and massive flows of communication break down all communication. And this was something that happened both on a citywide scale when I failed a roll and the veil tore away when I was standing at its epicenter, and so there were problems. There were so many problems. People couldn't communicate. They started fighting each other. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, so that was when it was time to basically follow the instructions. I've been talking to this little sculpture that I made that is a model of the labyrinth that lies underneath the illusion that is the city. And I basically, it's like, oh, I see the veneer is tearing off. Quick, let's put it back again. And so that basically was, as the architect with my metallic hands that I had acquired, not on purpose, I seem to be able to directly manipulate the fabric of reality, at least from this spot I can, this place in this newspaper building. This office that was previously occupied by Maxwell's demon. We sort of like, okay, we got to get the information flowing right, and just sort of asked Valerie and Laurel to help to send their messages to the people they needed to send it. And Laurel sent a very heartwarming message to especially the Minotaur people who were fighting the Crow people, the Crow nuns, essentially, and basically not turning on each other and basically giving that speech. And Valerie murdered a guy.
Listen, he had it coming.
So that was the thing that occurred, and it was a glorious vengeance, I will say, out of character. But yeah. So, but it was a very emotional time, and then we managed to get things settled down, and the information started flowing again, and that is, I believe, where we left off.
Yes, you had a Tower of Babel moment where communication had broke down. There was no sense of cohesive or cogent communication between anyone. Not that there was a splitting of languages, there was a lack of language working. As social media did break the laws of thermodynamics in terms of the communication and metaphysically, and all sorts of other things happened. However, the final note that we left on was the veil tearing and seeing that your city is actually a desolate spot in the middle of a wide desert, barren of life or sense. And maybe there are other glowing spots in the distance that might be just like you. And you, as you reached out, as you thought to reach out, you heard several archon with several voices, several individuals. What are you doing? You despoil. You think yourself dead. You will not have.
I'm the architect. I am here doing my job. Everything was falling into chaos. I had to stop it. Now, I hear something, but I'm not actually hearing your voice.
I will work on that one in a second.
Okay.
There is the sound of tinkling music around you as one of them speaks up. Job. You're not doing your job right now.
I don't know how to explain this to everyone here. But if you create something, even a facade of something, and that thing generates its own life as it does, you are responsible for curating and taking care of it. I had to come in and clean that up. That is what I did. Now, I'm sorry if that has caused you trouble with your business plans, but there is a responsibility that comes along with the seeking of any kind of power. And that is what you are meeting today.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
That we haven't curated and cared for you?
The city was in chaos. People were dying. Now, people die all the time, certainly, but not like that. Not in this thing, not the way that this was supposed to have been set up, apparently. From what I'm seeing. I saw a problem and I fixed it. Now, apparently there's a lot that I need to be read in on here.
Well,
And I have
so much. You broke everything.
Well, perhaps you can tell me what it is that's ceased working and we can take a look at it.
You have ceased working.
In what way?
Are you doing what you should? Are you flopping and sleeping and dreaming your little dream? No.
What are you looking for here?
Just go back to sleep. It'll all be fine in the morning. I promise.
What if you have, and like Laurel takes a step closer to this entity. What if you have trouble navigating what is sleeping and what is waking? What's the point?
One of them says to you,
Not quite sure what that means, but I do think that was kind of rude, honestly. Could be a little bit less cryptic for once. I find it's way more exciting than riddles.
these voices, you're not really stepping up to someone, is kind of speaking forward and outwards towards a an odd choir of voices that sometimes dies down to allow one voice or another to speak up.
Does it feel stronger in any direction? Like, do you have like a vibe, or is it more just like all encompassing? Because
It's kind of all encompassing. They are around you.
okay, cool. In that case, Laurel's saying this while kind of like pacing and looking around. He's ready to punch the air, you know?
I have an important question, just as far as, are we currently in an office, or are we currently do we see just in front of us? Is there only a barren landscape right now? Is the veil not present here?
You are in an office in a city that is run down in a barren landscape, seeing twinkles of wan starlight far out in the distance.
Okay. Is it the same city and office that it's like supposed to be currently?
It should be. It looks think that thin veneer of grit that is all across everything in Fallout.
Yeah. Okay. I have not, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but I it's perhaps blasphemy, but I have not in fact played Fallout.
Okay, just imagine if everything had severe film grain.
Oh, okay.
The Walking Dead tint.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Is it like, I don't know if it's possible to tell the difference, but is it like, does it just look that way to us, or is it present?
The film grain is present on reality as you can see it right now with the veil torn.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry, Laurel, you were saying.
So he's just kind of continuing his pace, and then is the office worker still at the like check-in desk? The Cerberus looking thing?
It is taking a tiny nap right now, but you can see its body.
He's gonna like touch it and kind of like shake it awake and be like, have you heard this? Like, hello, you should be familiar, because you know it's all in the office.
It turns kind of much like a dog. It turns onto its back and gives itself a very feeble belly scratch, and then just kind of flops backwards.
Well, I turns to Chris. I'm tapped for ideas. Who are you again? And like kind of raises his voice and like looks.
We are your caretaker.
Well, you're not doing a very good job.
Just go sleep.
Make me.
All be fine. Here.
That doesn't, for this all-knowing entity, you don't sound very reassuring. And then he kind of picks up his pace and like still feeling like it's here.
That's because you are. You can.
I think they're saying that we've wandered outside of our habitat. Maybe.
Yeah, but what is that? Like what are the board like I don't see like a fence. Like what are we doing wrong? I don't think
we're looking we're on the other side of the veil, I think, or we can see to the other side of the veil from here. And I think that might be what they're talking about, maybe.
Well, it's not like we chose to do that, so why are they getting frustrated with us?
I've never chosen to be able to do it, but I've been doing it all my life.
And if they're the caretakers and you've been going through this all your life and I've been sleeping funky for all my life, isn't that their fault? They can't get mad at us for something that's inherently their fault.
Make a avoid harm roll.
Oh my God.
Roll for that. All I know is I am afraid.
Reflexes.
Oh boy. Okay. And that's the 2d10. Okay. Do your best. Oh fuck. 6.
A grimy, dusty, bloody spear wings out from the desert and strikes you through the leg.
I would imitate the scream that would be let out, but do know there would be a lot of expletives. And then maybe it's like, is this how you treat all your fucking children? Fuck. And then he looked to where that came from, just like lots of cussing. And like, help please.
Yeah. Yes.
That sounds like a critical disadvantage, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean this thing just sort of came in from the is this like where it sort of came through the wall of the building into the is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. I think I see. You just try to help Laurel.
But Valerie is sort of she's been very quiet and is coming toward this with the idea of she is the type of person who curates a specific image online, image of her life for other people to see. And so the rare moments when like someone has peeked behind her veil, she understands how frustrating that is. How when someone sees the reality behind this curated image, it's hard to take responsibility for that. And so I think she knows at the very base there is someone here or some type of thing that she can find some sort of common ground with. And I think that she is trying to pinpoint where she would need to go to the best, where she would need to go, or what we need to do to find that common ground. Like, she feels horrible about what just happened to Laurel, don't get me wrong, but she knows that at the very base, they need to get out of here or get something going. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, she's trying to find the way that would solve this in the long run.
Okay.
Maybe I could roll perception to observe a situation.
Yeah, that is perfectly valid.
I only got a 9, so I get to ask a question, but no bonus, and I miss something, attract unwanted attention, or expose myself to danger. My question though is, what is being hidden from me?
What is being hidden from you is you. And when I say you, not, not Valerie, but the essence of yourself. Your strength is being hidden from you. Always has been. Maybe from all of you. What's being hidden from you right now is that this journey that you have found yourself on could lead to something else. But there is something about all of you that not just angers the voices, but maybe even scares them just a bit. Because you know how people with power operate. They suppress, they control, they gaslight, they destroy avenues. Right now, these voices are just trying to convince you.
I think Valerie speaks up. So they've said that Chris wasn't doing his job and that Laurel was a sleepy boy, right? That's what's been said.
They said that they've given the overall that you all just need to go back to sleep because things will be fine if you just comply.
Yeah. Valerie crosses her arms and sort of gives a rather exaggerated sigh and says, it's much easier for people to comply when you're offering them something they want. Why would anyone want to go back to sleep when we can see beyond the veil into the real world that you've kept hidden from us?
A small shaft of light dances on the desert around you. This is what you want? This thing here?
I think I speak for all of us when I say we want the truth. We want reality. We no longer want to be living in some distorted version of this world you've created for us.
Can I assist with my perpetual victim advantage?
Sure.
I'm baby. Laurel just adds to that. Just why? Why? Like what? Why are you hiding this? What are you so afraid of? None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. And he's like squeezing his leg, trying to like, not bleed out as much. Yeah.
Eventually trying to bandage the leg as best I can with whatever might be available.
Fair.
So it's a charisma. I rolled 2 + 7 + 2. I rolled an 11. I can do math.
What does your 11 do for you?
It allows me to have one option, make someone want to care for me, someone confide in me, or an aggressive person not want to harm me. I would like less spears in the leg, please.
A creature appears next to you as if they had been there the whole time.
Is it the clay one?
It is not the clay one, but it is a creature made of sores and wounds and bandages. But they have a tender face. And they look down and say, shh, 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 shh. It's okay. It's all right. Shh. I'm sorry I wasn't here.
Laurel makes a joke like, hope my insurance covers this. Back in his mind, he's freaking the fuck out because this thing is like kind of eerie. It looks nice, but it also that trying to be respectful, like you're helping, but also, oh Jesus.
Yes, they just try to swaddle you and hold you as they try as the rest of you are there. Somebody is there tending to your to Laurel's leg, and they just shh.
Do we see this person tending to Laurel's leg?
Yeah. This creature of wounds and bandages with a very caring face that is beautiful and flawless. And since you can see them from the back because you are not Laurel right now, you can see the stubs of bloody. You can see bloody wing stubs.
And yeah, so it's like I can picture him sort of just like was trying to find bandage material. I'm like, thanks. As I've been trying to help bandage the leg. I'm like, okay, that's good. Oh my god.
So what am I to call you?
Just call me Help.
Help, okay. And who? You look kind of beaten up too. Not to be rude or anything, but who helps help?
Don't worry about it. As they kind of dip their hand into your thigh, and they pull out the spear, and they kind of are holding a bit of flesh in their hand, the wounded flesh, and they rub it on themselves. And your spear wound, gaping and bloody, appears new on their chest.
Oh.
I think I would have rather kept the spear in my leg at this point.
Oh my god.
What do he doesn't say that out loud. Just full context. You don't want to be mean to the help. Is there what do I this seems awfully unfair. And then he kind of like pats his leg wound on their chest. This seems unfair.
What seems unfair is that it took so long for me to be here.
I feel as if I owe you. What? This seems something about this just doesn't seem balanced. Dear help, I feel like this is very transactional.
Didn't your spirit call for mine? Is this not what you wanted?
I mean, what do I owe you?
What do any of us owe each
Okay. Do you know what's going on with all this? Are you?
They'll tell you that you're broken, but you're just a little outside. It's okay. It's all right.
What does that mean? What is?
It's all right. You. As they look up at Chris and Valerie, says, "These people have led you astray, and I'll help you. I'll help you." All I need to do is take these dirty, dirty wounds. As this thing looks at Chris, those vile, vile hands. You led my baby astray. To help them, I have to.
When they say when they're referring to their baby, do they seem to be indicating Laurel, or are they?
They seem to be indicating Laurel. Laurel is baby, and
Yeah.
Baby doll, even.
Yes.
Laurel is baby, and clearly you all have led baby astray. You're all bad. Baby is good.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay. Want to make sure we were clear there. I'm like, well, and I'm sort of backing up toward the desk. That certainly wasn't our intention, but at the same time, you do need to recognize that all those we care for do have to eventually grow up and make their own decisions, yeah? I'm just sort of leaning back against the desk, and I'm putting my hand to the side of of Quandary.
Even when we grow up, we still need help. We still need just a little help. Don't you need a little help? You seem lost. You seem confused.
Well, confused is an understatement, but I'm trying to work it out.
Well, once I'm done helping my baby, I'll help the rest of you.
I'm about to make a dumb decision. It is a finale. Valerie has been watching this scene, and with the attention of this person, creature, whatever, attention off of Laurel, sort of focusing on Chris, Valerie just goes, "Fuck this," and with the same stiletto that she used to stab the man, she's going to attack this creature, and I'm going to use backstab to take them off guard because they're not expecting it.
Mommy, no.
I'm just
mommy on mommy fight.
My terrible thought here is that if you stabbed this creature, how would it know?
I did roll a 15, so that is the best option. So my attack, I'm going to do Uh, I'm going to do the careful, so I act soundlessly so they don't see me coming, of course. And then I'm going to knock them out. So the NPC is rendered unconscious. Yeah. So I didn't exactly like I definitely did a stab, but more of a like a stab just to like make them unconscious. It wasn't like a full killing stab.
All right, so your stiletto comes down or arcs up. However you have decided your vector of attack, it strikes true, and the bloody stump creature slumps over, and it cries a single tear and says, "Look what you made me do," as it collapses into bandages and gore, and your knife is sticking out of Laurel.
I walk over to Laurel and kneel. Or are you still? You haven't gotten up, right? You're still like on the ground.
I feel like I was still being cradled, but now I'm just like lying here, like splayed out.
Slumped over.
Like
Val comes over to.
that made my webcam freak out. That's how scary that was.
Oh, you're still frozen.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I think Val goes over to Laurel and just kneels down quietly beside Laurel and is just like, "I'm very sorry, but we have more important things to deal with than some creature who's obsessed with you right now. We'll take care of this."
The knife is sticking out of Laurel. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Approximately where?
Yeah.
Approximately where would you have stabbed this creature of wounds?
Probably in one of the wounds that I could see, like in their like collarbone, shoulder area.
So about that area, you have a stiletto sticking out of your general collarbone area.
Oh, sick. I know that hurts. That. And then he would look over to the secretary and be like, "How the fuck are you still asleep?" Sentences.
I'm going to I'm going to commune with Quandary for a moment. Where I'm just sort of like, so we appear to have garnered rather a lot of attention by doing this, and they haven't. They appear to be slowly starting to attack us and come for us. Any thoughts about fortifying?
Or being attacked, you should build walls.
That was something I was wondering. Is it possible to build things on this side? Are we on the other? We were on one side of the veil. Are we now on the other side of the veil right now? Is that what's happening?
Anything you do is by your will.
Right. So I could, of course, build walls here. The trick is to build them in such a way that the spears, as it were, don't get through. We want to do that. But then, I don't know. The editor was, I think, probably also walling himself in. And I don't know if that's the best way to be here. I can't think of an alternative. So I think that I'm going to basically cross around behind the desk again, and I'm going to look and see if there's. I'm going to try to use my perception via this labyrinth model, via Quandary, to try to figure out. I'm going to try to reach out and see if I can. This is a terrible idea. I'm going to reach out and see if I can suss out what of these entities that are out there, apparently. If I want to try and figure out how they are threatening us and ways that we might be able to at least hole up for a bit until we can figure out how we need to treat with them, basically, because that clearly is, we got to deal with them. Where if we're staying on this side of the veil, we got to figure this out. I mean, we need to decide. We haven't even decided what we want to do yet, so we need a second. We need a second. So that's what I want to try to see if I can figure out. And so, is there a thing that I can do to figure that out? I mean, I could try to use enhanced awareness, which would be terrifying. This could be considered forbidden inspiration, possibly, because I'm diving deep into my art to allow myself to be inspired by the truth. But no, that's not even. Yeah, I think we're beyond forbidden inspiration here. So I'm figuring this is either enhanced awareness or it's maybe something more basic. What should I do?
Well, it seems you have a few options. I mean, this is, you are in a forbidden place. I wouldn't think you are beyond forbidden knowledge. But you also have, there are a great many things here that you are not seeing potentially. So either one of those is actually viable.
Yeah. I think I think I'd go for enhanced awareness then, because I do want to see what I'm not seeing if I can. Heavens help me. So let's see. That is soul. This will be fun. All right. I'm now going to look down at the dice. That's not a terrible number. 4, 5, 17. So I can discern clear details regarding the location, it says.
So you are in the tower of a ostensibly of a newsroom, a news building, a place of communication. You have reestablished communication in this city. You have also inadvertently ripped ripped the lie away so hard, so deeply that you are staring outward upon desolation. And there are, this city you can now see has always been crawling with entities of all shapes and stripes, not just the minotaurs you've met, not just the crows you've met, but everything of every shape and size and creed. Further outwards, there are shining spots, not just the places you might think are cities, but the places hovering above, below, and between you. Furthermore, there is something shimmering inside of all of you, but it's faint, but there, twinkling. There's something about that that catches your eye, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but it also feels ever so familiar. Like there was a point, some time, some when, somewhere, where that glimmering spark of you was brighter, deeper.
Okay. Huh. Yeah. Even we're not as mundane as we thought we were. And Chris is going to say that out loud.
As Valerie looks up from Laurel to Chris with like just raises an eyebrow. Well, given that we're in a deserted wasteland, Lord, I would assume so. Yes. What do you mean?
Now, there's a spark in all of us it's faint, but it's there. That we have greater potential than all of this, and this, I think, this illusion has been stifling us. I'm guessing deliberately, and I'm guessing that there is probably concern that since we have started perhaps to regain some of that we're going to ruin the experiment or whatever it is that they're doing.
At this rate, I have less of a spark within me versus spears and stilettos, but I guess
Oh no,
perhaps.
It's definitely there. I can see it.
Well, what do we do with these sparks? How do we light them to full flames? Because honestly, I'm not against burning everything down at this.
Well, yeah.
Is diminishing it an option?
Well, here's the you want to go back?
I don't know at this point. I'm tired.
I mean, I guess you have that option if you want to fall asleep like they're saying, if you want to go back to sleep like they're saying. I don't know entirely what that's going to entail, but if you want things to go back to normal, that seems to be an option. Personally, I don't, because I would much rather have clarity than the half sights I've been getting my entire life.
I guess I just don't know what
Also-
normal means. If this spark is something that we've all had for a long time, does that mean If without it, I don't have nightmares anymore. I don't have to deal with the bullshit, the stalking, the things not going right for me. Like that doesn't seem so bad.
Uh,
But this other option, I don't know what that ending looks like.
I mean, I see your point, but also I do have to say that even here's the thing. You remember what your life was like before all of this started happening, right?
Yeah, it still wasn't great, but yeah.
Yeah. And crap started leaking through anyway. It's gonna leak through.
Yeah, but I got stabbed a whole lot less back then.
What I'm saying is sooner or later there might be more stabbing.
I guess you have a point. I guess you have a point. I'm just exhausted, Chris.
I understand. Me personally, I feel like, I mean, just like it just goes back to the whole responsibility thing. If apparently there's stuff that I can do, and I think I have a responsibility to, you know, to use that as wisely as I can.
I just think I need a second. Like this shit fucking hurts, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
is
know if
that.
you know what that's like. Um,
I
I
mean,
don't want to call for help again. Are you still even listening? To check if the entity is still there.
I just sort of look over at the pile of bandages.
The pile of bandages has not moved.
Don't think it can hear you right now.
And then that voice, was that the source of all of the voice? There's no way. That
said that you summoned it yourself. I don't think it was the voice.
Oh, they're probably still there. That was.
I don't like that.
Right. Yeah. No, that was a trick. I mean, I think because Valerie, you thought you were attacking it, and it turned it around on you and tried to imply that that you made it take that stiletto from you and stab Laurel with it. No, this is gaslighting. This is all gaslighting. This whole thing is gaslighting. Fine. You know what? Maybe walls aren't a terrible idea right now if we want to do that. If these folks don't want to have a reasonable dialogue, we can shore up until they do. And I'm gonna start trying to I would like to start trying to put walls on the labyrinth around the outside of some kind. Put walls around us. I'm going to try to weave walls, not literal walls. I'm going to try to weave metaphysical walls. To see if I can keep these entities from messing with us for now. For now. And so I will begin that process. I have no idea what that looks like, but yeah.
Roll plus your soul.
I will roll plus my soul. I am scared. All right. Okay. That's a 19.
Look at you, reach out, touching faith.
There, you wrap this this crumbling tower in a bulwark of your spirit, a desire to keep you and yours safe. But it's draining afterwards. See, as those of you who are watching Chris, you can almost see something come alive in his face, something light up as he builds without tools, without even raw materials. But there it is. Walls. A fortress, a place. You are now currently shaken. You have a -2 disadvantage to all your rolls as the effort of tapping into yourself drains you.
Did it work? God, that was exhausting.
How do we check if it works then, Chris?
There should be metaphysical walls out there. I don't know if that's a good point. I'm hoping they can't hear us anymore. I don't know if they can.
That'd be nice. You know what? I think we could use a little something. Is the spear that stabbed Laurel still here, or did that like fade away?
It is in the pile of gore and bandages.
Sick. I'm gonna pick it up. That's mine now. And
it feels like pulling something out of a jar of Concord grape jelly.
Oh, that's yum. Snack time. Just gonna like shake it off and like wipe it off. My pants are filthy anyways. So it's just, this feels useful. And he's gonna walk over to where the secretary was and like spin their little nameplate around to read it. What was their name?
Maxwell.
Oh, the secretary's name is Maxwell? Like the napping one?
Oh, the napping one?
Yeah.
No. Oh, those nameplates don't have names.
Oh, they don't have names. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna hit him with the button spear and say, hey, wake up. Wake up. I have need for you. Wake up.
We need to look up at Valerie. Is Laurel poking the Cerberus again?
Laurel is poking the not metaphorical dog. Yes.
Oh, great.
Hey there, big fellas. Hey, you know your way around this place. Where's the kitchen? We need a refresh. We need some coffee. Can you make that? Can you? We'll share. Yeah? And pokes him with the butt of the spear again. Come on. You've had plenty of rest, buddy. Sleeping isn't good over here. We learned that earlier. So wake up. Wake up.
As you poke at it and butt it, I can make you a roll plus charisma.
I'm sorry. Every time I'm so ooh, this is much better. 12.
All right, you are able to ask it one favor.
Yeah. I would just pot of coffee and snacks for everybody here. Get yourself some too. Yeah.
So what it does is it bites the floor
Perfect.
and lets you fall into the kitchenette.
Perfect.
You have a favor from Cerberus and you used it on snacks.
Listen, we all need a brief moment of recovery,
I mean, it's true.
you know? And they made comments about not falling asleep, and I'm gonna stay my ass awake.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did consider throwing the spear and saying fetch, but that felt disrespectful. Um,
No, you'd need 3 of them for that to be anyway.
yeah, that's why it was disrespectful. And it's all covered in goo.
Yeah.
And then they might eat the goo. We don't need that.
Yeah.
But I think we need a little bit of recovery time so that whatever stress we might have earned maybe goes down a little bit. We're a touch more stable. That's my intention. With a fresh pot of shitty office coffee and granola bars and fruit leathers or whatever else they have. They probably got a cereal bar here.
So,
Every shitty office has a cereal bar.
yeah, you're in the kitchenette, and the first thing you realize is that everything here is dirty and dingy, much like everything else. This was a clean office, like a pristine office, like when you walked in the building before all hell broke loose, right? And now it's dirty and grimy. It's like, it's got college frat house full of dudes who don't care about themselves, like levels of grime here. And everything that you can lay eyes on is, you open up a ratty granola bar and it's hard, and the grainy bits that are holding it together are actually sawdust.
It's like eating a candy bar in the 1800s.
There's soup that's been left in the fridge for who knows how long, and it is swimming. It has a islands of mold swimming on top of its surface. The coffee, well, there's not much that's worse than office coffee. That tastes about the same. Can't really make that worse.
Good enough. That's what we're making.
Yeah, but the things that would be food are maybe edible, but do you want to eat them?
I think this will be the first time it truly registers with Laurel just how fucking weird all this is. And it makes him strongly consider going back to before, because this is just so shit. And considering Laurel's on a separate floor, can't really talk to everyone else about this. Did Chris's walls surround like in the cube on that floor, or was it like the whole building? Like, did I fall past whatever barricade he was making?
Well, I mean, why does that matter? You want out, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I'm curious. Like, if it's like less of a hold on me or more, who knows?
I mean, if you want out, all you have to do is rest your head.
Laurel thinks about it, and then he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I've had worse. I've been broker. I fucking lived on a cruise ship. Staff don't get anything there. So he just says, fuck it, makes a pot of coffee, and then marches it back up. We're not going to talk about the kitchenette. That will be a secret between Laurel, Cerberus, and God. Coffee, everybody.
As you walk up as you walk up the kitchenette, there is a well, you actually have to. So there was a hole munched in the floor, so you actually have to walk upstairs to get back upstairs.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a moment.
And there were some people in this office building before everything went down, and you just see written in blood, "God doesn't live here."
Okay, so it's just between Laurel and Cerberus then. The state of this coffee. I don't relay that to everyone else. I don't think they need to know about that message. It seems discouraging, but I'll internalize that, and here I am, coffee.
I definitely don't think Valerie drinks any of it because she is very much a hoity-toity coffee drinker. Not totally unlike me though, who will drink mud, so it's fine. But Valerie, no. But while Laurel's been like doing this, Valerie has been trying to find some sort of like signal or access on her phone. Like I think logically she knows that it's probably impossible, but that's not stopping. It's never stopped her before. So
Yeah, who are you trying to reach out to?
I think she's not trying to reach out to anyone specific. She's trying to get some sort of idea of what's going on from like her followers.
Make a roll plus soul.
That's fine. That's a -1. So a 13.
There is a moment where your phone turns on and the signal reestablishes itself, and you're getting messages like it was any other day of the week. Chris, take a wound as you feel a crack.
Okay.
Yes, it's just like any other day of the week. People tweeting about you, people tweeting about people on Instagram and Snapchat, and people sending you pictures they definitely shouldn't be sending you.
Is there any information about the big fight happening?
People are wondering about the fight. People are wondering what's going on. People are also wondering if they should go to the hospital. People are wondering if they're insane. People are speculating in fear.
I think that I think Val sends a sort of cryptic vague message, like along something she's made up along the lines of like doing a stay awake challenge type of thing, and you should too, because she's thinking that maybe if there are not a lot of people asleep, maybe if they wake up, it might help their case. Like it might help them out somehow. She thinks that the more people who are asleep, it might give whatever has them stuck here the power. So she wants more people awake.
Yeah, go ahead and roll soul when you do that. I mean, that's all right, soul, charisma.
That would be a 16.
People are interested. People are excited to have a distraction. Even if that distraction is staying awake in what could have been the apocalypse. Why sleep? Why sleep at all? What if something else happens? Let's just stay awake. Let's do that. In this crack, in this time after sending your message, you receive a message that says all could be forgiven.
And where the message comes from?
It does not say where the message comes from. It actually has a blank box, like you are missing a data object for within the phone number.
Valerie quickly texts back. I've done nothing that warrants forgiveness.
Laurel, as you are handing out coffee, there's a small crack in a window, and a cold breeze is coming in. So cold it freezes the top of your coffee.
Does it look like it's cold out the window? You know, like, is it frosty anywhere? Is it just that one spot?
Just that one spot.
Being cold makes Laura real sleepy, and this coffee is really ineffective. Even when he does fall asleep, he's still wide awake because he doesn't really sleep at night. So this is awkward. So he goes to investigate and then pauses and goes, "Hey, Chris, that wall you make, does that work on windows?"
It's supposed to. I'm trying to figure out what just happened. Dear God,
Yeah,
I think
this
there's a
one-
crack somewhere.
Yeah, it's fucking freezing.
Oh, shit. Do you have the salt?
What?
And I'm gonna get the salt ready. I gotta see if I can seal this thing. I'm gonna try and clamber back over to Quandary and be like, "Oh crap! Where's the crack? I gotta patch the crack."
Oh boy!
Quandary says you can already feel it. You know what you have to do.
Yeah. Okay. So starting to going to try to heal the crack in the wall.
Roll
With,
soul.
Metaphysical metaphysical
and
iodine.
Remember your minus 2 disadvantage.
I'm -2, and then I'm also got a wound. So what am I, -3?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sure this will be just fine. I'm rolling different dice each time too, because I don't know what's going to happen. All right. Well, there it is. Yeah, we've come across a very low number.
Could it be the lowest we've ever rolled in the game?
No,
far?
not the lowest, perhaps. This is a total of 6, with the -3 and with my soul, which when we got the advancement, I kicked it up to a 4. So total of 6.
Yeah, it's not the lowest we've ever rolled.
No. I did not roll snake eyes. But yeah.
There is a moment where you nearly fall unconscious as you bleed from the seams between your metal hands and skin as you take another wound, but this wound specifically is to well up the damage of the crack. So you basically have evened yourself out. You're no longer at your -2 disadvantage, but you have 2 wounds.
Yay!
So you are no longer at -3, just -2.
Just back to -2. Okay. No, that's good. That's an
One in your
improvement.
favor.
Yep. No, that works. That works out. I'm good. I can take 2 more wounds.
Yes.
3 more wounds possibly.
Yeah. So but you are bleeding from the seam where your skin and hands meet. And Valerie, your phone goes dead.
Valerie's like in the middle of like reading responses to her random tweet, and she's just like, what the hell? And she like loses her access to the world.
Laura's like, oh, you didn't bring a charger? One's like, let me get my, and he turns to look where his backpack was, and I'm pretty sure that's gone. I think it's covered in goo and everything inside is fucked up. So
yeah. But
an attempt is made.
But you know what is standing through your backpack? Standing next to your backpack, which is next to the goo, which is is a person in all blue.
Oh.
How'd you get in? When did you get in?
Well, I'm here. I mean, that's what really matters, right?
I mean, no.
I thought you'd be happy to see me.
Not especially.
Well, now I'm hurt.
I mean, so am I. This, he holds up the spear, was here, points at his thigh, and then that points at Val's stiletto, was here. We're all kind of going through some stuff.
Laurel's especially going through it right now.
Well, I mean, you had all the help you needed right here as it points down to the goo, not the goo, but the bandages and gore. You had all the help you needed right here. And well,
I didn't even know who the hell that was.
It was the help.
Yeah, that wasn't very clear. You can keep saying that, but that doesn't mean anything to me. How'd you get in? Was that you? And he points to the window.
Oh, yes. My apologies for the coffee.
Have you ever heard of knocking?
Would you have answered?
Well, for once in your life, I mean, I would have considered.
I mean, I'm not some vampire.
Well, that is good to know, I guess.
I don't know. That's kind of debatable. You kind of suck to me right now.
Well, that's just hurtful.
I feel like you are incredibly rude.
Well, we can be rude together, you and
I feel like we were incredibly hospitable the first time you came around.
And I was incredibly hospitable. I helped you.
You froze my friend and made her tiny. How is that helpful?
Are they dead?
They're certainly not alive, like right now with us. I don't think that's...
Are they necrotizing and falling away into ash and blood? No. That makes me the most helpful person here. Aside from help here. Who is God?
This is incredibly frustrating. Listen, I pride myself on knowing what's going on around me, but I don't follow any of this. This was not the life I ever envisioned for myself. I just wanted to stay at home, watch videos, maybe take care of a few plants.
What's that? Videos? Plants? They snap their fingers and Netflix and
Oh my god.
and some ferns appear.
Yeah, but like not like this. What's all this? And then what's this shit? Picks up the coffee.
I hope you downloaded that before you came in. I'm not tolerating another crack. Just really wipe, trying to wrap my hands in something.
Are you here to offer your services in exchange for something? What is your point?
No, I'm just here. I'm actually here to watch you bumble, stumble, and possibly fall. I don't have Netflix.
You more of an HBO Max type of person? Hulu, maybe. Not.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, we were going to need to start talking to these folks sooner or later anyway.
I think for once you should be
what-
charitable instead of treating everything like a transaction and just help us with no strings attached for once, if you're such a cool, chill guy.
I'm sorry. I don't fancy myself a philanthropist or a Backstreet Boys album. So, no.
I don't like this guy. He takes a lot. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I know you're doing your best, but I don't like this dude.
Oh, that's clear.
And I feel like we should just be honest at this point.
Okay. Keeper, right?
They do call me Keeper.
Would you care to tell us what you're supposed to be keeping?
I keep time. I keep appointments. I keep things, places, instructions.
Ah.
Have you considered giving us time, giving us people, giving us places, being your own boss for once? You ever just act independently? You ever just...
Being my own boss.
It sounds like you're somebody's bitch. I'm sorry, dude, but that's just how it sounds.
There was a time when I was your bitch, really. And yours and yours and yours. And then you all fell off a cliff. I reveled in that.
Ah. I assume that's why this is entertaining to you. Well, this is probably a very foolish question for me to ask. But sometimes I guess when I'm watching a show, I'll be watching the people in the show and think, you idiot, you should be doing this. So do you have any recommendations along those lines?
You have two options. Idiot, you should find yourself and maybe beat back those who would damn you, or you can just lie down. Those are your true options. How you get there, one way or the other, will be entertaining.
Hmm. Huh. Well, let's say for just a moment. Well, let's assume for just a moment. Let's entertain the idea of trying to beat back the others and get where we want to go. I believe that we need to work out how to deal with said individuals and be able to secure ourselves, which is we're kind of in the process. Clearly, I'm still new at building walls, but this is the direction I'm trying to go in anyway. I know there's something that you want. You had a commission of some kind in mind, did you not?
Oh, that's almost irrelevant now. We're past the point of no return at this point. So what I'm here to do is watch, because whatever comes from this will change many a thing. I think you should take more lessons from Valerie. That's what I think you should do.
I think you should tell us, and Laurel approaches with the spear forward, if anyone's going to miss you when you're gone.
No, but no one is missing you already.
And you said I was mean. What makes you want us to be just like Val? What's that? What's that about? Laura looks between Keeper and Val.
I, for one, am at a loss. I do genuinely think most people should be like me anyway. So,
Valerie is so abominably close by just being herself. It's exquisite. And also vexing. You're so worried about this thing or that thing or the vagaries of this world or that. If you only knew how to just unabashedly be yourselves, you'd be so much closer.
I feel like at that statement, Laurel gets like really, really mad. And I would like to think that his newfound connection with the Minotaur people really resonated with him. And if there is any chance that the way Laurel appears when he is asleep and dreaming could perhaps manifest here when he is alert and waking, because he feels very called out right now. And I know he made that big grand speech last time about not really being a Minotaur god, but what if he turned into one right now? What if that was his true self? Is that perhaps a possibility?
What if somebody, I don't know, rolled soul +1 right now? What if somebody did that? That'd be kind of neat.
Okay, let me double check my shit. 14.
what if someone wasn't just a person? What if someone was a Minotaur? What if they had connected so deeply with themselves in a dream and so deeply with a people that they were in fact long and tall and horned and muscular? What if that person was standing and towering over a very smarmy blue person? What if that had happened right now?
If that had happened right now, I feel like perhaps that smarmy blue person would be picked up by the handle, the handle being his neck. And I'd ask him, I want you to say that again. You're the most dishonest one here. Like holds him up. Laurel doesn't register that he has changed.
They smile at you wickedly and says, yes, I'm the most true to me, but you are only beginning to be true to you.
You sort of look back from the keeper to Laurel, Laurel's form up to Laurel, back down to the keeper. Just sort of lean over toward Valerie. Well, yeah, but I think he has a point. Just sort of gesture at Laurel.
I think Valerie looks at the situation in front of her and she sort of laughs and says, it says a lot about you and how much you think you know about me if you assume that anything I do is actually who I am. I've been lying and being fake for the majority of my life, so much so that I don't even know who I am, and I prefer not to. And she looks at Laurel and says, if you're waiting for an excuse to grievously harm this person, here it is.
Say less. And he does like a toss in the air of the keeper and tries to gore him on a horn.
I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You do it, and the ice runs down and freezes half of your face from their blood. And the keeper says, we are everything, Valerie, even the lies. As they turn into a wisp of blue air and just kind of coalesce next to the bandages and gore.
On to the next one.
Yeah, God. Yeah. Do we want to do a break?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do a quick break.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a quick break, and whilst we align ourselves, and we shall return shortly. See you soon. We're back. Hello. I think I believe Laurel just impaled Keeper, and Keeper is now lying in a pile next to Help. And I think that looking at Laurel, does it look like Laurel realizes that he is currently a Minotaur?
He definitely feels more himself, but he's not addressing it because this is who he is. He's not perceiving this as too different because this is just who he is now. And if he wanted to will himself into something else, he probably could, but this is his current strongest attachment.
Oh, that's it. Chris is going to just sort of looking at it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's it. I think I know if we want to stay, this is kind of how we do it.
What are you talking about, dude? And starts brushing Keeper off of him.
That spark that we all have. Can I still see the sparks, or am I, or is,
Yeah.
How is Laurel looking right now?
A bit bigger, a bit brighter, a bit deeper.
That's it. So Chris is going to be like, you are fanning your spark.
Laurel does one of these, like, examines himself. What are you talking about?
Well, you weren't a Minotaur when we came in here.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that's right.
That's what he was telling us. He says, gesturing to the pile of ice on the floor. He gave it away. Yeah, that's what he was saying from the beginning. Strangely, that we have to, if we want to exist on this level, we have to realize we have to realize ourselves. We have to become something else, or, well, not really. Actually, not even become something else. Become what we are.
It's a shame he couldn't have been more literal from the start. He'd still be standing here rude as hell.
Yeah. So that's it. That, I think, is the trick. Is if there is to be set a trick, we'd have to and our sparks, as it were, we'd have to become self-realized.
What's that mean for y'all?
Great question.
Because, like, I don't really know what that means for me either. Like, I feel a little more confident, but I don't.
Well, do you see? I mean, it's really kind of, I guess, the way I'd guess it is it'd be like, do you want to have? Do you want to have? Do you want to be a Minotaur god? I guess is the question. Because I think you've got that option right now.
I mean, there are a lot of other things. I feel like.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a Minotaur.
But this form feels pretty okay for right now.
So, I mean, if you want to go in and I think you could easily, right now, especially, if you choose this for yourself, you could go into the labyrinth and take charge. If that's what you want.
I don't really want to. I like the idea of having a community, but I don't really think I'm fit for leadership. And I feel like, as Laurel says that, like, the features on the Minotaur, like, soften a touch. He's not, like, as intense and, like, just like think fighting bull to like Highland cow, like that's the transition scale. We're scooching. Just like 2 steps over.
Island cattle are delightful, by the way. But sorry, go ahead.
They're so cute.
They
are.
are.
That's just the most extreme binary of like bovines I can think of. But I feel like he softens a bit and he's like, I just want to belong somewhere at the end of the day, you know? But this is good for right now.
All right.
But I'm not sure I want to go inside that. And he like points to the labyrinth model that you've got in a box.
Well, I mean, this is the small one, but yeah. It's well, I mean, it's wherever you can. I think it's a question of just carving out a spot for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's something that I'll figure out. But what about y'all?
Yeah. Well, Valerie, how are you doing?
Honestly, I feel rather annoyed.
I was picking up on that. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't particularly like someone demanding such things from me. I don't particularly like riddles or things I can't solve. It's very frustrating. I don't particularly like people I care about being threatened or speared or, stilettoed, even though that was technically, it was my fault, but how was I to know? I don't particularly like the position that we're in. So, I will do whatever it takes in order to fan the spark, to set it alight so that we can. Honestly, I'm not sure what we want to accomplish, but if it means getting out of here, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's just a question of where we want to be. I think I'm going to have a responsibility to try to help shape things here. But I have thoughts about what might be more productive for all of this right now, but I don't need to get to that yet. I don't need to worry about that yet. He says, as though he's realizing something, just sort of looking down at his bleeding hands, and he looks back up. So I think it's just a question of figure out who you want to be, and maybe, and he's saying this to both of them, we can open up a way to a place that you want to be. Yeah?
Well, I have to be honest, I quite enjoy who I am now.
Is there anything that the you are now wants, though, Val? Answers, power. I know you've got a lot of wealth.
Before we came here, what have you, I achieved what I wanted, which was vengeance.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Got that. And you know how it'll be some lesson in a movie that's you shouldn't feel fulfilled with vengeance. I actually feel very fulfilled. I don't have any regrets for that.
That statement makes Valerie brighter to you. The statement of them feeling fulfilled and not caring about what tropes should bind them, or what platitudes, or what knowledge or wisdom should be gained in not taking vengeance, but that just unabashed feeling of being fulfilled and accomplishing a goal. This, despite the moral quandaries around it, makes them and the knife they wield brighter in your vision.
Ah. Well, that's it. Yes. Looks like the plan for you then is to be that.
Well, I can do that very easily.
So what's the next step?
I think that well, Laurel, you wanted to join a community.
It would be nice to belong to somebody again.
I think that we can probably, once we take the walls down, we can or we can send you beyond the walls to go to that community. Just need to put you with them.
I just feel like we're not done here quite yet. And like I said, they're probably going to put me in some leadership position, and I'm not quite prepared for that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm gonna. You want to hang on here? I see. Valerie, is there anywhere you want to go, or do you want to hang on here?
What is here exactly? Why would I want to
It's a good
be stuck
question.
in this desert? No, if I had a choice, I would want to return home, to my home.
I don't feel done. Like, this guy doesn't feel like he was it.
No.
He like points to the keeper.
Okay, well, all right, folks. I'm going to put my cards on the table here. I don't know if I'm going to survive this, but I think I'd like to build a bridge.
A bridge between this world and the one we know?
Yeah, of a sort. Not the kind of thing that, just any horrific concept can just flit back and forth across, mind you. Bridge to help these disparate forces communicate and figure out what the hell they need to do, because honestly, if they're just sort of sitting outside the darkness and sitting outside in the darkness, hurling spears every now and then, I don't know that they necessarily have much more of a clue than we do. Their advantage is just that they've been playing the game for a very long time.
So is your intention to go to them? Is that what you mean? Or how do you intend to make this bridge, Chris?
Well, we need something that I think we need something that will. We have a labyrinth. Yeah. And I think that it is doing its job, but I think it might also be stifling progress. I think it might also be stifling how do I explain this? Communication here broke down. And it happened so easily that I think there was just too much of shouting at and not enough taking a step back and understanding. I don't know if this makes sense, but that's the kind of bridge I'd like to build.
You said you wouldn't make it?
I'm not doing great right now. I want to get you folks to safety. And I don't know how much it's going to take out of me when I do this. I might be okay. I might be able to be around, and if I survive doing this, then I'll set up a I'll set up a room for myself and start having office hours. As I know plenty of folks are going to need commissions. I'm an artist. This is what I do. But yeah, I feel like I'm the one who broke open the veil in the first place in a lot of these places, and I think it's my responsibility to help get you folks to where you want to be before I tackle anything like that.
I know you want to be selfless, but this kind of feels selfish. Val, what do you think?
I think Val, for a split second, has a look of emotion across her face that she is not really that familiar with. And it is some combo of like regret and sadness. But it's gone as quick as it was there. And she looks at Chris and just keeps eye contact with Chris, but even though she's answering Laurel, and she says, I think that Chris is an adult and that Chris can make the decisions he wants to do.
I don't know. I think as adults, we could tell him there's got to be another way. There's got to be something else. Instead of just throwing yourself to sacrifice for a city that just wants to fight itself. Like, I know I want to seek community out there, but like, is it here? Like, what if we just left?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can, if we head out, this is the epicenter and somebody is going to occupy it when we leave, I think, probably, unless we set something up. So while we're still here, it's probably going to be the easiest possible time to make any final changes we might want to make. After that, we might still be able to do it. I don't know. I'm still figuring out how this whole thing works. But,
well, you know what? I trust your judgment. You know what? That's fine.
I just want to make sure that we're not beset the moment we leave the walls. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You two have both, well, actually, I'm just sort of again looking. Their sparks are. How are we looking on a survivability scale as far as, and it's like I don't know if Chris has a survivability scale. But
how's Chris's spark looking right now too?
It looks large and like it's bright and it has these deep colors running through it. There are also bits of it on the floor where he's bled. There are also bits of it, in the metaphysical wall he's built.
Yeah, I think Chris has been very Chris is definitely kind of is still a little bit blind to the his own debilitation in respect to that, but his it's the thing there. So, but yeah, I guess the question is, and I mean, maybe even I can, if need be, I'll ask Quandary about this also. But my thought is, is this enough for us to survive? For us to make it if we drop the walls?
If you ask Quandary, it replies, if you are clear in your intent, that it could be enough for a start at something new.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right. Maybe I. He's very careful, trying not to touch too much with it. He's like, okay, all right. Maybe I don't have to set myself on fire right now. He says, kind of looking at Val. You have to be clear in intent. Maybe I don't actually have to build a bridge to build a bridge.
And everything you have built here so far has been metaphysical anyway, right?
Exactly, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think barring us trying to pick someone we want to hand this spot over to, all I think we can do is just be certain of our intent and to proceed ahead and go where we want to go. Yeah, I mean, we can head out of here if we want. If we feel we are sufficient. You know that I've always had trouble with that. But I'm going to try.
If it's any consolation, Christopher, you have always been perfectly sufficient enough for me. And this is coming from someone who is extremely greedy.
Laurel quietly dismisses himself.
Thank you. I genuinely think that might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Probably, yes. Probably the nicest thing I've ever said to anyone, to be honest. Niceties aren't exactly my forte.
Hell. And I think Chris is just basically like, okay. All right. All right. And it's just sort of things I think marbles are starting to click into place a little bit in his head with that. He's like, I should probably... Yeah, okay. Probably stop bleeding. That's probably a good idea. And I think yeah. If we're ready to go, I'm gonna we can let them decide what they want to do with this place. I'm gonna pull this. I think if we're ready, I'm gonna pull this back in. He says, gesturing to the wall.
Laurel walks back in looking like his normal self as you've seen him before, and he's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think this is exactly where I want to be anyways. So
Okay. Yeah. And you just sort of we'll just sort of, Christopher will take a second and he will be looking wistfully at Valerie for just a second, and then he will sort of shaking his head. He's going to try to metaphysically he's going to try to bandage himself as best he can real quick. And he's going to try to with his, again, he's at Quandary so that he can pick it up and bring it, but he's going to try to actually, well, we'll get to that in a second. He's going to see if he can pull the energy, the self, from this wall that he's put up. He can pull it back into himself, so that he is not just leaving pieces of himself all over the place necessarily.
Right. You pull and pull at the wall, at the floor, at the ground, at the city. You place yourself in so many places. It's actually been a very long time since you've been together. You have walked in so many places around the city and left so much of it. And as you touch, as you have touched, have been touched, as you touch everywhere else, and all that kind of collapses in on itself in a very brief singularity, your wall shatters. And you can feel, all of you can feel lifetimes that you think you may have lived, orphanages where you may have been left, but also don't remember. And in the distance of this city, of this place that you happen to be, you see a formidable yet crumbling citadel, and atop it sits a throne. After all, Valerie wanted to go home. And maybe Valerie didn't know what that meant right now. but it seems like the intent was read. This place is a place you have always been and return to and leave over and over and over again. Sprawling behind you is the city crumbling, the city lost, the city broken. But it is also seeing more activity than it's seen in an eon, because there's a community here of people you've maybe intentionally brought because Laurel wants to be part of something. What do you do?
When Chris takes everything down, does he still see our sparks, or does that like?
No, you can see each other's sparks more clearly than you ever had before. And also the nearly dead weak sparks of every person that lived in the city that you were in, that is now here with you.
So how's everyone feeling right now? Because I feel different. I can't describe it. It feels off, but pleasant.
That sounds like a pretty apt description.
I mean, it is a little strange having our eyes open this way for the first time, I guess.
Well, I guess if we're getting out of here, and like Laurel walks to a window and looks out and he goes, "Which way y'all want to go?"
When I open my phone, like, do I have my phone signal back? Do I have my battery back? Like, what is going on with that situation?
Well, you pull out your phone, and I guess, funnily enough, son, you're holding a pigeon.
Valerie, like, looks down at it, doesn't like react, like throw it or anything. She just sort of holds it. She's like, I'm not sure what this.
I got you. Let me show you real quick. And then I like beckon to your pigeon and it like lands in my hand and I do the little pets, the little boops, the little.
I'm not sure if this
fan out the feathers. Yeah.
I can get used to, actually.
I mean, you got your messages right here. And then go ahead. And encourages the pigeon to speak.
Yeah, the pigeon speaks messages. The pigeon also can open its mouth unnaturally wide to give you a screen off of its glistening roof of a mouth.
This is very unnerving.
Yeah, well, just
she says that while she is focusing on the phone, like the pigeon phone there.
Yeah, you just can't drop this one. They don't come with cases. And then Laurel hands it back.
All right. I'm just going to check for the general consensus of my followers, like what seems to be going on.
Your follower list has swelled. It's everyone here. They are confused. As you stare around, you can see winged creatures flitting about, and you can feel their malice and intent against you. you can see the behemoths that stalk the grounds where the tower where the throne lay.
So what's our next step?
Again, pick a direction. It all looks kind of the same, but I'm down to go beyond.
Well, I mean, personally, I would like to go wherever my home is.
Sure, I'm down for that. We can go take a look at your home. Chris goes for a second, and he's about to just as though to pick up the sculpture. He stops himself for a second, and he's like, he just sort of kind of smiling to himself, because again, it's been this whole sort of awkward thing trying to move this thing from place to place. And then he realizes where he is and what he is and what he's possibly done. And this thing that is also a being, and he looks at it and says, "Come on."
As it grows tripod legs and clicks after you.
All right. I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think Valerie heads in whatever direction she thinks would be best to get home.
You know, Val, and then like tacking along with her, you can make home wherever.
I know that is a very nice platitude, but I do prefer home in my high rise.
Okay. Well, I think this is where we're going to part. It was nice knowing you, Val.
I'll be fine whenever you're looking for. You are
Yeah.
very I am sorry for the stabbing, but you are a very wonderful person.
It's cool. You gave me enough resources. I think it more than offsets it. He flashes one of the cards you gave him.
You know, if it does stop working in the future, trust that it wasn't me who did so. I am probably dead. That is something that is coming.
That's fair. I mean, you got time to scratch out a will. Napkins count, right? See ya, Val. And then whoosh, he's gone. He just dips in a car and he dips. He assumes Chris might follow, but Chris has a relationship to sort out. So
I think Chris would like to see Val to her home. Make sure she gets there okay.
You can find Val to her home. It is a high rise. It is a place that is bereft of issue for the moment. But crawling around the corners and alleyways are the best you could describe them would be angelic creatures, or at least something things that could have been at one time called angelic.
I was doing whatever she can to avoid that, especially after the experience I had with help.
So I think it's going to take a while, maybe, because we got some stuff we got to sort out. But I'm willing to put in the time if you are. And if not, it's okay. You've got to do what you want, what you got to do.
It's not that. I'm just not exactly sure how much time I have. And if it's even worth you putting in that
Well, you always have been worth my time, Val. I honestly wouldn't have invested it otherwise.
Well, given that, whatever time I have left, I don't exactly have anyone else to share it with. Not that I would want to share it with anyone else, to be honest. All right. Just make sure you know what you're getting into here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, life is life is a learning process, but yeah. I think honestly for the first time, I'm kind of more certain of that than I've ever been.
I think Valerie makes it up. They make it up to her door, and she goes into her apartment alongside Chris.
Yeah.
Walking your own paths that you're choosing, maybe even choosing for the first time, or at least consciously making that choice. You are also in an eternal city beset by all manner of creature who hate you for all manner of reason. But most of all, what you have awakened inside of yourselves. And some of you may or may not take on the responsibility of leading or shepherding this first tribe of people to return to this city in an eon. Only time and maybe another story someday somewhere can say how you did or how you could succeed at that here in Metropolis, a city of wonder and splendor, and also of industrial waste, a city of cracked towers and infinite beauty. A city where divinity might not be so lost, but can possibly be obtained. But you found some catharsis, after all. And that's what I have for you.
Oh. Oh, that was so good. This was
We
glorious.
did it. We did it. We did it. Yay.
We made it.
I was going to ask what happened to Max's character, but I feel like.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We got to fix, we do have to fix, but
I feel like.
Lingering problem.
Yeah.
That does need to be fixed.
I do feel like, I feel like she might have been unfrozen at some point and just disappeared for her own reasons, because she did go through a lot.
It's fair.
Maybe someday somewhere Max will wake up too.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Wild.
It's one of those things that, in a few centuries, just sort of waking up, almost like waking up in the cryotube almost. It's just basically, okay, hang on. There's some things we need to tell you before you do anything. It's all going to look really weird, but we need to have a little chat.
I would say perfect ending.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked this. I liked this so much. For just bringing Hollow, thank you so much for running this and for bringing so much creativity and heart to this thing. This has been so wonderful. And it's horrific and fun as well. And so I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you running this for us. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I appreciate running it. It's been a blast, and I really enjoy having to warp and wend around the vagaries of all of your characters.
This is true. Yeah.
I only beat up a couple of NPCs.
Yeah.
We're gonna call that beating up.
Yes. Well, folks, I think we are we are entering into the outro zone. So we're going to feel free to tell folks where they can find you. Feel free to plug anything you like, and any final thoughts you have for this game, this campaign, anything, or anything you want to say. And we're going to go, as is traditional, we will start with our storyteller, Hollow.
Hey, I'm Hollow. You can find me at Hollow Invective on Twitter, as long as Twitter happens to last. So the kids are saying. You can also find me every other week. We are taking a small break. I'll be back in January with Crits and Knits, where we play geriatric adventurers on our last hurrah, who are all part of a knitting guild. We talk knitting the first half in our knitting projects, and the second half we game as this knitting guild. I had a wonderful time running this game. Having done a lot of the tarot card stuff in the beginning, having a game around the disconnection of social media be a large part of the concept was very interesting to wrap my head around and then put something down for. So I had a great time doing that.
Especially fun given how social media has changed. One platform alone in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
Yes, it's like, hey, this is a documentary. Yeah. It's all almost prophetic.
Where's Apollo throwing the terrible gift of prophecy at me?
I know, right? Hey, wow. It's very hyper relevant at this point. So it's awesome. Awesome getting to play with that at such an we'll call it an auspicious time. Damn. Yeah, no, absolutely. But that I think that whole thing, just invoking that just the idea of working around that is brilliant. Just considering everything and considering the characters we put together and how we were setting them up. And I can't say enough good things about this. This was really great. But we're gonna go ahead then and head on to Kortney.
Sweet, that's me. Ho ho ho! These are my Christmas colors. I was Laurel. I feel like that was a character that was a little bit out of my comfort zone, which was a bit of a treat. I had a wonderful time kind of exploring all of those themes and talking about family, community, and platonic familial love. That was a good time. I got to be a god. 10 out of 10. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Sparkly Kiss, co-host Twitter, Tumblr, whatever, or Twitch. But gotta be careful. Twitter tried to make it illegal to cross post. I'm still laughing about that. You couldn't tell people you had a Facebook, or calm down. Anyways, I'm doing my last stream of the year tomorrow. I work in games. I work for Miscellaneum Studios. We're releasing our first game next year. But to do that, we're going to do a final push with a Kickstarter. So if that's your vibe, check me out online. I'll surely be cross-posting about the work that I do, and making more hot mess characters in tabletop games to come.
I am so glad that you signed up to play this with us, because it's
a good time.
It's just awesome having your energy here, and just the things that I love it seeing this whenever we took a left turn as a result of some of these things. It was great. No, it was it was an absolute delight. So thanks so much for playing.
Yeah, no, this was great. Good group. Would play again. I love to surprise everyone, even myself. Sometimes I say a decision and I was like, did I mean that? Well, I'm rolling with it. So that's half of my role play is being afraid of my own choices. Yep.
Awesome. And finally over to Katy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katy. You can find me all over the internet at Katyface. I have greatly enjoyed this. It was so much fun. Such a good introduction to KULT for me. And I greatly enjoyed playing it and just being a piece of shit the whole time. It was really great. But yeah, thanks for having me. This was great. I loved the spookiness and like the genuine shocks we would get every week. It was a really good time.
Yay. Awesome. Katy, I always love playing with you.
Yeah, same.
So thanks so much for coming and playing this. This was it was and Valerie was awesome. the most together PC in the party.
Valerie and her cheesecake. Can't bring that ship down.
Glorious. So who am I? This is a great question. As I need to take a lesson from the character I just played as to self-determination. I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch and most other social media platforms. Where I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. Down below, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. On this channel, hopefully, provided we're good schedule-wise, as it comes very close to a particular holiday. But Friday, if we're all good, we're going to be resuming The Outer Veil. One of the two stories we're currently playing in Don't Rest Your Head, in the Don't Rest Your Head campaign that I'm running. We've started to have a little bit of crossover with the nightmares. With the nightmare characters have been going back and forth, and that's been great. The Outer Veil group is currently in the market district of the Mad City, which has one of them, just before departing, summoned a little black hole into one of the buildings. So right when the city starts to change at the 13th hour, so they're locked in, and the market district's flapping all around the proverbial cosmos right now. We're this will be interesting. This will be very interesting. Seeing what they do at this point. And then, of course, on Monday, we have the other group, the Inner Circle, who have been, they were on the run from the nightmare known as the Grid. They're now, have gone underground seeking the help from another nightmare known as the Wax King. And parts of underground are getting flooded suddenly for some reason as the 13th hour changes things. And we'll see more about what's happening, but the stakes appear to be very high right now. So very much looking forward to that. Things coming up. In 1 week from tomorrow, we should be resuming our Dune game that we've been playing. We've got a lot of intrigue happening now, and we're starting to chip away and sort of see what our enemies are doing, and it's not good. We're trying to take control of an ocean planet, and there are problems. So just gotta get that going. And then something that will be happening on the first of the year on this channel will be a playtest of a game that I am writing called 1 Year Hence. There will be someone perhaps you may recognize appearing in said game, who is and I'm just delighted. I've been working on this off and on for over a year now, it's a Descended from the Queen game that it's like For the Queen, but it's a Green Knight variant. Where essentially everyone is playing people who have accepted the challenge of the Green Knight, as in Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and are traveling to the Green Chapel to try to meet their destinies. And so I'm very excited to I think it's finally at a point that it is a thing I feel okay about showing to the public. So we're gonna do that on the 1st. So very much looking forward to that, and just seeing what story we weave as a result. So this was absolutely wonderful, and I thank all of you viewers, if you're viewing this live, or if you're viewing, if you're looking at the VODs, if you're looking on YouTube, what have you. Thank you so much for coming and watching our shenanigans, and watching us reel in horror as the veneer is swept away and we see what lies beneath. This has been great. I really appreciate anyone who wants to spend any time staring at us doing these things. It's so much fun. So when we hit the end card, we're probably going to go and raid somebody. I have not had a chance to look over there because I have been in my feelings. But there are a few folks that are currently on doing things. Happy Jacks, It's Probably Okay is doing stuff. PB is doing stuff, the Lollygaggers, a few different folks. So I'm just going to look over and see sort of who's doing what, and we'll probably raid one of them. Feel free to hang out if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That'll be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.